Vitya Diaries Chapter 16, Tea with the Empress. I liked Lilia's house. It's so her. She belonged to it just as much as it belonged to her, with its tall, impassive columns, pristine walls, and marble floors. I think people tend to settle in places that feel right, and reach a singularity over time. Coach was the same way with his little old place full of secret memories, and my aunt and uncle with their boring house that I don't even want to mention. I almost can't wait to get back to Vaganova in a few weeks. It may be a little too yellow and privacy doesn't exist, but it's as close to a home of my own as I've got. I had Lilia to thank for that. She liked to have me visit for tea, which was code for routine checkups and lectures to make sure that I wasn't blowing it. Midnight blue? Lilia asked. Skepticism was normal for her. I looked at the little bottle of nail polish in my hands. I thought we could shake things up. I don't think it's my color. There were dozens of options laid out on the counter, but she hadn't specified any rules. That was just like her, though. Everything was always a test. I put it back and picked out an obnoxious hot pink. This one? God, no. Smiling, I went through 3 more before settling on a nice, safe bronze. I wouldn't get to actually paint her nails until I did everything else that went into a proper pedicure. She wanted me to have my mat in place. Lilia did mine first, sitting me in the big salon chair. She'd already picked out the sapphire polish for my nails, which had only taken her one try. You've been chewing on your nails again. I got anxious. Isn't that what the dog is for? His name is Mokyuchin. Mokyuchin was dozing against the wall, probably bored out of his mind. How is your wrist? Almost better. That was true enough, though I needed to stop falling on it if it was ever going to heal all the way. I think I'll be fine by the time the semester starts. And your programs, Victor? I puffed my cheeks. She hated the duck face, but that only made it more fun. My free skate is good. Still don't know what I'm doing for my short program. Exhibition. You need to win to skate an exhibition. Oh, I'll win, Lilia. She frowned at me. I frowned back. Then she smiled. Trading the emery board for a towel, she stood to retrieve a bowl. Perhaps you should consider doing something traditional. Show the world where you're from. Tell them how you feel about Russia. Here, put your hands in. I let my fingers soak in the warm water and looked up at the ornate frame of the mirror behind her. How I felt about Russia. The costume would be easy enough to put together if I did that, I guess. And it'd be warm. The hopak was the most traditional dance I knew, and it had been taught to me at Vaganova since the dawn of time, but could it be translated to the ice? Actually, I could already see it. The kicks, the jumps and spins. It would be difficult, probably dangerous, too, but the energy and the step sequences would definitely turn heads. The audience would love it. There'd be extra points in it for the arm positions, and since it'd be a short program, I could probably get away with doing some crazy stuff and still have enough recovery time for the free skate. It wasn't a bad idea. Lilia sniffed, which was how she laughed through her nose. It might help temper things from your photo shoot, too. I looked up from the mirror. Oh, that was another reason why I'd come to visit Lilia. The interview from Fifi's visit had been published and some of the photos from the shoot were in it. She'd gotten a copy and invited me over. It had been a great article, and versions of it would be going out to other skating publications around the world. How they managed to get so much done in just a few weeks, I had no idea. Thank you, marketing people. Lilia set my hands on the towel again, using her tools to push back the cuticles, refining everything in the practiced way she did. You need to be a little more careful, Vitya. Victor. I smiled. I don't know what you mean. You're getting older. So they will be expecting you to fulfill certain roles. I'm not going to do ballet. I'm a skater. That's not what I meant. However, to that end, you must meet their expectations to stay at Vigava as well. I broke contact from Lilia's reproachful glare. You're the one who put nail polish on me, she sighed. In this world, you are only the master of yourself. You cannot change Russia, but it likewise cannot change you if you do not let it. I squinted at her. So you want me to lie? I'm simply suggesting that take control of your life, Victor, but be smart about it. So it'd be bad if I told everyone that I had the hots for this incredibly cute guy in Moscow, right? Her careful hands came to a stop with the polish over my thumb for 7 careful, measured seconds before she continued. Is that so? She asked. So calm, as if she weren't dying to know. But her eyebrows, curved like the Hugh March Bridge, gave her away. I leaned back in the chair. And who is this boy? Coach hasn't told you? She recapped the bottle and set it aside, turning to the makeup kit I'd brought. Some things we could share, but not mascara. While my nails dried, she started on my face. No, he has not. She paused. He doesn't tell me everything, you know. Why would he? I closed my eyes to let her work, which was a shame, because she always made the best faces when we talked about Coach. Because everyone knows that lovers tell each other everything. That is not. She sighed. I can't stand him and you know it. Sure. So why does he keep his wedding ring in his wallet? I cracked an eye open just long enough to catch her blush. That man. And you keep the photo of you two dancing at your wedding on your side table. She cleared her throat. Why do you tell him these things instead of me? You can open your eyes now. I looked in the mirror. She'd given me winged eyeliner, curled my eyelashes, which I loved. The eyeshadow matched my nails. She loved putting me in blue. I smiled up at her. Probably because I see him 2 or 3 times a week. You could see me more often. I was your teacher first, you know. True. I held still for her to apply a soft pink shade of lipstick, watching her face as she did. Lilia had been my ballet teacher from the time I was 4 until I started at Vaganova at age 10. She'd been the one to introduce me to Coach Feltzman, and taught me how to do all the makeup I knew. I rubbed my lips together. Do you want me to come over more? She sniffed and took out various powders from her collection. I just don't understand. You've always been so eager to go to Yakov's. But never mind. That wasn't true, was it? I like having tea with you. Do you ever think of me as being? Her voice trailed as she brushed blush onto my cheeks, first one, then the other, eyes narrowing in thought. Well, have you ever thought of me as being? I cocked my head to one side, and she took my chin to the angle she wanted. Being? You don't seem to have taken to your aunt and uncle as surrogate parents. She tapped my nose with a powder poof. No, don't make that face. I'm not finished yet. Had I sneered? Maybe. I love them, but they're not my parents. She dabbed the rest of my face, saying nothing. Wait. Are you saying you want to be Mama Lilia? Lilia made the lemon face. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Lilia, you're not a mama. What? Her brows creased. No, really, I said. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather live with you than my aunt. But what? I watched as she slowly began to pack up my makeup stuff away, not looking at me while I tried to come up with a way to explain it. Lilia, prima ballerina, the one who ruled Coach with an iron fist, who could kill anyone with just one glance, wanted to know why she wasn't Mama. No one was Mama but Mama. No one but Mama would ever be Mama. That wasn't something so easily said, though. And it wasn't like I wanted to hurt Lilia. I loved Lilia. It was just different. Well, you know, you're more of a queen than a mama. What? Queens can be mothers, too. Especially to princesses. I winced. Sure, but it's the authority, the presence. If it's a title you're after, I can call you Empress Lilia if you want. Even though she was frowning, Lilia had color on her cheeks, too, and it wasn't just the rouge. She was flustered, and that was hard to do. Whether that was a good thing or not, though, I really couldn't tell. Coach probably would have been shaking in his Valenki. I don't think that's necessary, Lilia muttered. Goddess Lilia, then? What? I don't know. Baroness Lilia? Duchess Lilia? I think you're going in the wrong direction, now. I shrugged. I think Empress is my favorite. You're impossible. Up, out of the chair. It's my turn. I did Lilia's nails under her direction, which always made me really nervous. But I didn't mess up, which was great. She dropped the subject of mamas and asked about Nico instead. So I told her a little bit. Not too much. Just that he was cute, which I'd already mentioned. And that we talked a lot over text. How can you get a feeling for chemistry if you don't see him in person? She asked. PFFT. Lilia. We've met before. Besides, this way, he'll fall for me, my true self, my soul. Not for what I look like. None of there. You know? She wasn't convinced, but didn't argue. Once she had a top coat of clear polish, which I didn't get cause I'd be removing mine before going home. We had tea in her sitting room and talked about ballet some more. Even though I didn't want to admit it, I knew a lot more about the ins and outs of gossip at the Mariinsky and its current performers courtesy of my teachers than I probably should have, which Lilia loved. I was her spy on the inside. We also looked over the photo proofs I'd brought, spreading them out on her lovely coffee table. Lilia was quiet for a while, sorting through them with one hand, long nails barely tracing the edges of the prints, while she held her teacup steady with her other. I hardly breathed while waiting for her feedback. "Miss Fifi does good work," Lilia finally said, settling back on the sofa. "Will you be keeping all of these for your portfolio?" I looked back at them, humming. My aunt is already asking for copies, and I think Coach requested to get some on file. "Why? Did you want some?" "Perhaps." I'd already scanned and emailed the ones I was sending to Nico, and since Coach was getting copies. "Take whatever you'd like, Lilia." She arched her brow at me again. "Are you sure?" "Yeah. Anything for the Empress." She rolled her eyes, but there was a smile on the corner of her lips, small though it was, and I could tell she was pleased. Mokuchin and I went home an hour later. 2 photos later, she took one from the Vaganova set and one from the stage at the Mariinsky, free of makeup and nail polish. "Did you have fun with Madame Brinovskaya?" "Yeah." I yawned and brought Mokuchin to the kitchen to feed him, measuring out the kilo and then refilling his water bowl while he ate. "I'm gonna go take a nap, though." My aunt smiled. "Was it that tiring?" "She made me yoga." "You love yoga." She also checked all of my forms to make sure I was practicing. "That's probably for the best." I leaned on the banister at the bottom of the stairs. "I guess. It's good to see you going outside, too." "Yeah." That was my signal to go. "Okay, bye." Mokuchin barked after me, which he always did when I'd run up the stairs, and I made it to my door when I heard his scrambling paws thumping up the stairs and barreling down the hallway. He hated being left behind. "Oh, you got me, Moku." "Vitya, don't make him run right after eating." "Sorry." I crouched to rub his ears and his neck, then his full belly and opened the door to my room, leading him over to the bed. I flopped down, sleepy pup on my stomach, and pulled out my phone. I wasn't really that tired, but checking my phone at Lilia's would have gotten me in trouble. Not because of the content, she obviously didn't care that I had it bad for the boy from Moscow, but because it was really rude to check your phone while having tea with people. Which sucked, because I really wanted to know if Nico had seen the photos. I punched in my password and waited for it to load. Nothing in my email, but I had a text. "N.Y. Got your email." That was it? What was that supposed to mean? He'd sent it sometime in the early afternoon, probably while I was standing arabesque in Lilia's studio. Not sure what I was expecting. A marriage proposal on the spot. I'd sent the most flattering photos, but really, who was I kidding? Me? What did you think? Me, not bad, right? Give him an easy out. Set up a win-win for us both, please. Please don't let me down. N.Y. Yeah. N.Y. Hey, can I call you? I almost dropped my phone right onto my stupid face. He wanted to call Nico. Call me? I swallowed and, trembling, typed out my answer of "sure, smile now" before slipping out of bed to close my door. His answer came in the form of cheerful chirping crickets, a built-in ringtone that I'd set when I got the phone. Nico had never called me before, so I'd never heard it all the way through. The song was sort of bluesy and really cute, and I let it ring a couple more times before taking the call. "This is Nicodim. Miska?" "Yes, it's me." "I'm listening." Thank God I didn't squeak. "Nico, hi. I liked your photos." I sat on the edge of the bed and Mokuchin came crawling to nudge at my arm. I was trembling. Yeah, thanks. It was a lot of work, but I think they turned out pretty well." "Me, too." I played with my hair in the silence that followed. I wasn't that good at one-on-one conversations without a set topic to begin with, but with everything on top of it. "So is that why you wanted to call?" "Oh." His voice was deeper than I remembered, but still that same timbre. "I'm going to be in St. Petersburg next month. Mum has some business in town. We wanted to know if you were available to see us." Mokuchin nudged my arm, and his cold, wet nose jump-started my brain so I could think again. Miska? Oh, right. Yeah. Of course. I'd love to. That'd be great, Nico. "Sure. Just let me know what the schedule is." "I will let you know." "Okay." We both fell silent again. And though I wanted to ask more about the photos, I didn't want to ruin how good the conversation had been. Nico was coming to visit. He wanted to see me. Next month. Not at a skating event, but here, in St. Petersburg. "How long will you be in town?" I asked. "A few days, I think." "Oh, okay. We'll probably take you to dinner." "Dinner with Nico." "Perfect." "Sure." Almost like a date. Wait, it was like a date. I'd never been on a date before. What was I supposed to do? By next month, What did Nico mean? That was anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, and Nico wasn't very good at precision despite being kind of picky about stuff, so that didn't leave me a lot of time to prepare. Nico, I got to go. Huh? Yeah. My aunt's calling me. Oh, yeah. I'll text you. Great. Perfect. You're the best. What? Nothing. Bye. I hung up and stared at my phone and panicked while Mokuchin licked my face and nuzzled me and tried to calm me down, but I wasn't upset, exactly, just exploding. What was I going to do? I needed advice, tips, someone I could talk to. Not Lilia. As much as she wanted the gossip, she would just tell me I was being silly and that I needed to make real friends. Coach would just be awkward about it. I thought of my roommate at the academy. Felix knew about romance, but he was so aggressively straight that I didn't dare throw him a bone lest he take it and run to the moon with it. Probably not a good idea. Then it hit me. There was someone I knew who would know exactly what to do. Someone who had charisma and experience with dating and all the woes of the troubled teenage heart. I was loath to do it. Really, I was. But I was also desperate. I scrolled through my contacts to the one marked second place and typed out a message. Me, Yorgi. Me, hey Yorgi, I need your help.